everybody. My name is Penyo Matidiso, and today I'm in Cape Town, the Central Business District. And I would just like to outline uh, Chapter 10 of the South African Constitution, which outlines the basic values and principles governing public administration. And subsection 5 of section 195 in chapter 10 of the South African Constitution states that legislation regulating public administration may differentiate between different sectors, administrations, or institutions. This basically means that there is no certain policy that is given or prescribed to regulate the way in which certain institutions administer, with the sole objective of promoting the efficient and effective use of economic resources for unbiased service provisions as indicated on subsection 1A, B, and C of section 195 in chapter 10 of the South African Constitution.
I'm buying something and go.
Hence, a sole
I want that time.
proprietor or individual can administer the provision of financial services to the general public in his or her own personal capacity, as chapter 10 of the Constitution on subsection I of section 196 clearly stipulates that personal management practices, I repeat, personal management practices based on ability, objectivity, fairness, and I close quote, are aimed at readdressing the imbalances of the past to achieve a broad representation of the South African people. So why is it that the South African banknote has a printed facial image of a singular individual from a singular tribe with a single ideal? All that I'm saying is that as part of the South African people, I and along with others are entitled to receive money from the South African Reserve Bank every day as a just administrative act that is developmentally orientated and seeks to readdress the imbalances of the past, as chapter 13, or let me rather say chapter 13 subsection 1A of section 214, or should I say section 214 of the South African Constitution highlights: an act of parliament must provide for the equitable division of revenue raised nationally amongst national, provincial, and local spheres of government. We all know the phrase that says that the people shall govern, and the allocation of resources to be a tangible reality must be allocated amongst each and every one of us. And this must not just be something that is well documented on a well written piece of paper. So in a brief conclusion, chapter 13, subsection 1 of section 224, or should I say, chapter 13, subsection 1 of section 224 of the South African Constitution clearly states that the primary objective or object of the South African Reserve Bank, or the primary objective of the South African Reserve Bank, is to protect the value of the currency in the interest of balanced and sustained economic growth in the Republic. So with the unemployment rate of the South African youth sitting at well above 28% of the population, and national minimum wage for both employed and unemployed youth should at least be 3,500 to approximately about 5,000 rand a month, as this will assure the majority of the young voters that participate in the growth and development of the economy that even if they face the harsh reality of retrenchment and career uncertainty, they can at least have enough capital in the form of a grant, a national stipend, or let me say a national stipend that can be used as starting capital or a monetary tool to strengthen the fluctuating value of the currency and reduce the high levels of crime that continue to plague the core of our moral fiber in our peaceful society. I mean, you can ask any qualified and experienced accountant like myself who abides by generally accepted accounting practices. Most accountants will say that these are called GAAP, and they will tell you that the rand used to be sitting at around 10 to 12 rand to the British pound, and now it is speculated to be sitting at about 16 to 18 rand to the British pound. And this 4 to 5 rand difference in the price of the rand to the British pound indicates the need for a serious monetary intervention and an educated capitalization of exports in commodities and other goods and services in the global market that is characterized by constant change and technological innovation. With all that being said, please do bear in mind that Chapter 13, subsection 2 of Section 224, or should I say Section 224 of the South African Constitution, indicates that the South African Reserve Bank, in pursuit of its primary objective or in pursuit of its primary object, must perform its functions independently and without fear, favor, or prejudice. But there must be regular consultation between the bank and the cabinet member responsible for financial matters. So the finance minister, in this case, Mr. Tito Mboweni, is more than capable of making sound financial decisions. And those financial decisions will include adjusting the repo rate for commercial banks and creating certainty in the financial market. So why is there uncertainty and economic fights and trade wars when a decent solution lies on the allocation of resources to the people who are the representation of South Africa and the contributors of global economic growth and development? Or is it because there is just no money to allocate at all? And if there is money to allocate, how must the ones that are responsible for the current financial debacle allocate economic resources to those who deserve the money the most? Because it is my money and it is your money, and we need this money because we work hard for this money. And in a brief conclusion, I will just say that the only way that we can stabilize the economy in South Africa and within the SADC region is if we stimulate the fiscus and we improve the unemployment rate amongst the youth. And one of the sectors in which we can look to do so is by at least establishing establishing new construction projects and developing new cities within our regions and especially within the SADC region, and also engaging in civilized trade agreements with our foreign nationals in order to generate capital and revenue in our SADC region. With that being said, I'd like to thank you a lot for your time. This is Penyo Matsidiso from the city of Cape Town. I thank you a lot for your time.